Russell Westbrook is currently making a comeback in the NBA. In the previous few seasons, Russ has been used as a scapegoat for the problems surrounding both the Lakers and the Clippers. But now in the Denver Nuggets, his synergy with Nikola Jokic and the rest of the team is proving that Westbrook can still contribute in a major way in the NBA. It was hard to believe that a player who made it onto the NBA's 75th anniversary team and will be an NBA Hall of Famer suddenly just fell off a cliff in terms of production. Granted, the way Russell Westbrook plays isn't for everybody. However, one thing that people can't deny is that whenever he is on the court, he plays with 100% effort. Russ has such a unique story of success, failure, and redemption, which starts at the beginning of his basketball career. Russell Westbrook is from Long Beach, California, and had a dream of playing college ball in California and making it to the league from a young age. He entered his freshman year of high school at Lusinger as an undersized point guard that only stood at 5'8" and weighed 140 pounds. And because of this, he was playing junior varsity in his freshman and sophomore years, failing to make the varsity team. With no college offers, his basketball future was in jeopardy. But with a growth spurt in the summer between his junior and senior year, growing to his adult height of 6'3", he started to receive college offers. During his senior year, Westbrook went on to average 25.1 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 3.1 steals per game, helping Lusinger High School to a 25-4 record. Being a prolific scorer, an athletic freak, and playing winning basketball along with the growth spurt all led to Westbrook becoming a highly sought-after college recruit, including receiving an offer from his dream school, the UCLA Bruins, when Ben Howland recruited him. Westbrook was so set on playing for UCLA that he waited for UCLA player Jordan Farmer to declare to the draft and free up a scholarship position instead of just committing to another school. Westbrook enrolled into UCLA for the 2006-07 season, where he had a slow start to his college career. Russ acted as the backup point guard coming off the bench and was used primarily for defense. This season, he only averaged 3.4 points, 0.8 rebounds, and 0.7 assists on the year in 9 minutes of playing time per game. During the offseason, Westbrook knew he had to dial in if he wanted to earn more minutes and eventually become a starter and achieve his goal of making it to the NBA. He worked extensively not only with on-court work, but with weightlifting to match the physical challenges that college basketball posed. But the thing which helped him the most this offseason was playing against NBA players. Playing against the most talented individuals in the world would slow down the game for him when he would go back to college. In his sophomore year of college, Russ was originally supposed to come off the bench for a second season, but when starting point guard got injured, Westbrook was named as a starter. He took full advantage of this opportunity, averaging 12.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and 1.6 steals, and was named All Pac-10 third team and won the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year. He also led UCLA to the Final Four, where they lost to Memphis. After an outstanding season, Westbrook decided to forgo his final 2 years of eligibility and declare for the 2008 NBA Draft. Russell Westbrook was drafted with the 4th overall pick by the Seattle Supersonics, which relocated and became the Oklahoma City Thunder 6 days later. This was a team that was going through a rebuild spearheaded by Kevin Durant and were looking for pieces to fit around him. Westbrook started as a complimentary piece of the bench until he earned himself a starting position and the OKC point guard for the future, averaging 15.3 points, 5.3 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game in his rookie season, including a triple-double with 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, and was named to the NBA's NBA All-Rookie First Team. The Thunder were yet to play winning basketball and had a record of 23-59, failing to make the playoffs. This worked out in their favor, granting themselves another high draft pick in 2009, selecting James Harden with the 3rd overall pick, and also picking Serge Ibaka with the 24th pick. Along with a few other roster changes, Westbrook's second season with the Thunder was a complete turnaround. Now full-time starter, he averaged 16.1 points, 8 assists, and 4.9 rebounds, as well as winning more than double of the games they won last season with a 50-52 record. Making the playoffs, the Thunder faced the Lakers in the first round and lost in 6 games. However, the core of Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden was the most exciting young core in the league. With the element of surprise no longer in favor of the Thunder, they all had to reach another level going into the 2010-11 season to maintain the positive momentum. Russ absolutely did this, now posting averages of 21.9 points, 8.2 assists, 4.6 rebounds, gaining him his first All-Star and another All-NBA selection. Thunder also played better as a team, finishing with 55 wins and making it to the conference finals to face the Dallas Mavericks after defeating the Denver Nuggets and Memphis Grizzlies. But they again got beat by the team that went on to become the champions when Dirk and Mavericks won in 5 games. In the nature of the Thunder going from strength to strength, the expectations for this team now was championship or bust, no matter how young they were. The season started off with a weird start, due to the NBA lockout, but this only fueled Westbrook and the Thunder. He finished the season averaging 23.6 points, 5.5 assists, 4.6 rebounds, and with the Thunder finishing second in the Western Conference, they were ready to attack the playoffs. In the first round, they had to face the reigning champions, the Dallas Mavericks. And when the Thunder swept them, they were immediately considered as legit title contenders. The next round saw them face Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, who had won 2 championships in the last 3 years and managed to beat them in 5 games, proving that they were a much better team than in years past. The conference finals saw the matchup between the number 1 and 2 seed in the Western Conference, with OKC facing the Spurs, a matchup which saw the Thunder win in 6 games after losing the first 2. Westbrook helped lead the Thunder to the NBA Finals for the first time since the franchise relocated, but they would eventually lose in 5 games to LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and the Miami Heat, even with Westbrook scoring a playoff career-high 43 points in a Game 4 loss. The next 2 seasons were full of injuries and surgeries for Westbrook after initially hurting his right knee. When Rockets guard Patrick Beverley collided with him in an attempt to steal the ball, Westbrook tried to play through it but aggravated it, which forced him to take the surgical route. The 2014-15 season took a similar route as Westbrook fractured a bone in his right hand, and with Kevin Durant also suffering with an injury that season, the Thunder never got a footing and missed the playoffs. The time that Westbrook and Durant took off to deal with their injuries and missing the playoffs gave them an added sense of motivation as they were determined to reach the top of the mountain. In their season opener against the Orlando Magic, they both scored 40 points to set the tone for the season. Westbrook was named an All-Star starter for the first time in his career and won his second All-Star Game MVP award. It was also the first time he made an All-NBA first team, as he averaged a double-double for the first time in his career with 23.5 points and 10.4 assists per game. Although the Thunder had a well-rounded group with 2 legit superstars, the North Star in the NBA were the Golden State Warriors, who won 73 games in the regular season and was the team OKC would have to beat if they wanted to go to the finals. After beating the Mavericks and the Spurs in the first 2 rounds, the much-anticipated matchup between the Warriors and Thunder had been set up. The Thunder came flying out of the gate, winning 3 of the first 4 games to take a 3-1 lead, and in these games, Westbrook was averaging 27 points and 12 rebounds, clearly dominating the point guard matchup between him and the 2016 MVP Steph Curry. But this was the turning point as the Warriors hawked the Thunder down and came back from a 3-1 deficit to win in 7 games. It was this total collapse that people knew there would be major changes in Oklahoma. In July of 2016, Kevin Durant made a decision that shocked the basketball world. He decided in his free agency that he would join the Golden State Warriors, the team that had just beat him in the playoffs. Westbrook, on the other hand, signed a contract extension, becoming the official franchise player and the focal point of offense. This worked out in Westbrook's favor, as he went on to have one of the best statistical seasons of all time. He became the first player to average a triple-double in a full NBA season since Oscar Robertson, with 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists. He has averaged a triple-double 3 more times since then. This earned him his first-ever MVP award. Despite this, the Thunder were knocked out of the playoffs in the first round by the Houston Rockets. The next 2 seasons followed the same patterns of Westbrook averaging a triple-double, but going nowhere in the playoffs. He wanted a chance to win a championship, so demanded a trade. Before the 2019-20 NBA season started, Westbrook was traded to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul, 2 protected first-round picks, and 2 first-round pick swaps, and was reunited with his former teammate James Harden. The season got cut short due to the coronavirus, but when the season resumed in the bubble, the Rockets made the playoffs. Westbrook had tested positive for the virus, so missed the start of the first round against his former team. He joined the series in Game 4, and the Rockets closed it out in 7 games. The next round, the Rockets were beaten in 5 games by the Lakers, who went on to become champions. Russ averaged 17.9 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game, the lowest averages of his postseason career, and the blame can mostly be put on the fact that he was still recovering from an illness. Westbrook found out that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and both him and Harden requested a trade, which saw Westbrook traded to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a 2023 lottery-protected first-round draft pick. He was now the focus of the offense again and averaged a triple-double for the first time since leaving the Thunder with 22.2 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 11.7 assists. Through the play-in tournament as a 7th seed, the Wizards secured their first playoff berth since 2018 after beating the Pacers. They faced the number 1 seed 76ers in the first round and lost in 5 games. The Wizards did not become a stable home for Westbrook because during the offseason, he was traded again. At this point, people were now seeing Russ as a player that was stat padding rather than playing effective winning basketball. The 2021-22 season saw Russ return to Los Angeles as a Laker, traded for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and the draft rights to Isaiah Jackson. As the season went on, Westbrook was receiving more and more criticism for his inefficient performances, like when he shot 4 for 20 on Christmas Day. By early January, people were calling for him to be traded yet again at the deadline, as he was shooting 30% from the three-point line and turned the ball over 4.6 times per game through early January. Russ was consequently benched, and the Lakers failed to make the playoffs, the first time Russ had missed the playoffs since 2015. During the 2022 offseason, the Lakers acquired 2 point guards in Patrick Beverley and Dennis Schroeder, and Russ was officially the sixth man, which marked the first time he has started coming off the bench since his rookie season in OKC. This didn't seem to be working, as on November 12th, the Lakers' record was 2-10, and they stood in last place in the Western Conference. On February 9th, 2023, Westbrook was traded to the Utah Jazz in a 3-team trade involving the Minnesota Timberwolves. At the time of the trade, he was averaging 15.9 points, 7.5 assists, and 6.2 rebounds with the Lakers on 41.7% shooting in a career-low 28.7 minutes per game. Westbrook didn't play a game for the Jazz and was traded to the Clippers, reuniting with former Thunder teammate Paul George and regaining his starting spot. During the regular season, Westbrook averaged 15.8 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 7.6 assists, while shooting 48.9% from the field for the Clippers. Coach Tyronn Lue praised Westbrook's effort and toughness, saying that Westbrook had saved the Clippers during the final 20 games of the regular season following an injury to Paul George. The Clippers faced the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the 2023 NBA playoffs, and despite Westbrook averaging 23.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game in the playoffs, looking like his former self, the Clippers were eliminated by the Suns in 5 games. The Clippers re-signed Westbrook to a 2-year, $7.8 million contract. After the Clippers reunited Westbrook and James Harden in a trade, Westbrook requested to come off the bench as he thought the Clippers would have better synergy that way. The Clippers finished 4th in the West and lost in a tough-fought playoff series against the Mavericks in the first round. The Clippers felt that Westbrook wasn't helping them win the way they wanted to, so decided to trade him to the Utah Jazz again, alongside the draft rights to Balša Koprivica, a second-round pick swap, and cash considerations for Chris Dunn in a sign-and-trade. He was then waived by the Jazz on July 20th. People believed that this would be the end of Westbrook's career, and he would no longer contribute at a high level. This was until he signed for the Denver Nuggets for the 2024-25 season. People weren't sure how Russ would fit with Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, but initially coming off the bench, he provided much-needed energy and pace for the Nuggets and a great connection with Jokic. Due to Westbrook's outstanding play, he regained a starting spot, and in the 24 games he has played as a starter, the Nuggets have won 18 of them, proving that he can still contribute to winning basketball. The Nuggets are currently a 4th seed and are higher than both of his former teams. This could be one of Westbrook's last chances to win a championship.